Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing, man? Antonelli here.
What's up, guys? So in today's video, what I want to do, I want to talk about the cut fastball. And it's okay for younger guys to start throwing cut fastball. It's actually a really nice, easy pitch for younger kids to develop and learn. And then for older guys, it's a great pitch to add on to your fastball. So it's going to obviously play off the fastball. That's why it's called the cut fastball. And all we're looking for is a little bit of action in order for it to cut a little bit on your glove side. Okay, so we're going to create an access where the ball's going to spin the slider way as opposed to the two-seamer way. Okay, but we're just going for a little bit of a cut piece at the very end of the delivery. So it looks like a fastball as long as possible. And then at the very end, as it gets closer to the play, about the last third of the way going to the plate, it starts moving a little bit. If you're left-handed, it's going to go in on the hands of a righty. If you're right-handed, it's going to go in on the hands on the left-handed batter. So I'm going to show you two grips today and two variations of one of them that you can use and start trying out on your next bullpen session or as you're playing catch. Playing catch is a great time to start fooling around with grips, fooling around with pitches. So the grip number one is going to be more of that Mariano Rivera cutter. So what Mariano did, we went four-seamer grip. So if I want you to hold the baseball and go four-seam grip for me, thumb right underneath and your ring finger and pinky finger are to the side. So if this is your casual four-seam grip here, all we're going to do is put both fingers together here, and you have one of two ways of throwing this. Way number one is to put pressure and apply more pressure onto your middle finger. So the ball is going to come out and we're going to spin this way. You're going to create access that way, and it's going to go for a left-hander again, in on righties, for a right-hander, in on lefties. Okay, so again, four-seam grip. We're going to split it right down the middle, but we're going to apply pressure onto our middle finger, and we're going to get that nice cut at the very end. Another way of doing this would be back to the four-seam grip, fingers together. All right, but now we're going to have even pressure on both fingers, and we're going to slide it and offset it a little bit on the baseball. Okay, so if the horseshoe is on this side, that's the side we're going to go towards. All right, so if we're holding it, if I'm left-handed, I'm going to be on this side of the baseball. If I'm right-handed, I'm going to be on this side of the baseball. Now the goal is for it to come off our fingertips at this point of the seam, so right on the overlapping part of the seam, and that's the last piece of friction that the ball will take off of your hand. All right, so again, hold your four-seamer, fingers together. We're just going to offset it a little bit. You can apply the same amount of pressure on both fingers, and it's going to come out and cut for you at the very end. A second way of throwing the cut fastball is I'm looking at the baseball this fashion. Now a lot of guys throw their sliders this way or curveballs this way. We're going to come up on the baseball and get our middle finger overlapping on that horseshoe. So it's going to look something like that. So if the baseball is here, we're going to take our middle finger and it's going to be overlapped on the two seams, and our middle finger is going to be right on this side. Now a lot of guys do throw breakers this way. All we're going to do, we're just not going to supinate as hard. So this is the type of cutter that a John Lester throws, for instance, that you can back foot to a right-hander if you are a left-handed arm, or you can back foot to a left-hander if you're a right-handed arm. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit more of an in-between of a cutter and a slider. You're going to get a little bit more break on it, but this way, at pitch release, we're going to supinate a little. So if I'm right behind the baseball here, comes there, all we're going to do is supinate a little bit, not as extreme as a breaking ball. Okay, just a little bit, so the ball comes off our hands there. We get our good access if you're a left-handed arm down and into a righty. If you're a right-handed arm, down and into a lefty. So those are two variations of the cutter. One variation has two different types of grips that you can use. Again, right down the middle, apply pressure to your middle finger, or we're going to offset that grip a little bit to the side. It's going to come off and go down and into a righty if you're left-handed, down and into a lefty if you're right-handed. The second grip is if we're looking at the baseball this way, we are going to overlap, get our middle finger right on the seam there, supinate just slightly, and you're going to get more of that John Lester feel of a cutter, where it could be a mixture of a slurve, slider, cutter, something along those lines. Go out and play catch with it, throw it in your next bullpen session, play around with it, talk to people about it, and get better each and every day as a pitcher.